What up, Winbush here. And today I want to show you how you can bring in vector files into Unreal Engine 5 and extrude them to make 3D logos just like you're seeing right here. So I have the official Unreal Engine logo extruded out here inside of Unreal Engine 5, and you can see that everything is reactive to the light. It's all working here inside of my viewport in real time. So let's get started from scratch and show you exactly how to do this. And I'm not going to start from scratch to show you how to get started with motion design. If you're new to this, make sure you go to this tutorial right here to get started with motion design inside of Unreal Engine 5. But moving on, I'm inside of Adobe Illustrator right now just because I want to show you something really important when you want to bring in your vector files into Unreal Engine. So you can see right here inside of my layers palette, I have my logo here. I'm just going to use the Pittsburgh Steelers for example, and you can see that I have each one of my splines on a separate layer here. Now, whatever hierarchy you have it set inside of here, this is the hierarchy it's going to bring in once it comes into Unreal Engine 5. And we can't use Illustrator files as of yet. So what you want to do, once you have everything set up in here, you want to come over here to File, come down here to Save As. Then down here under File Type, you want to make sure that it's a SVG. So SVGs are the only way that we'll be able to bring in vector files into Unreal Engine, at least as of now. So again, SGV files, not AI files. So now back inside of Unreal Engine 5.4, I'm going to actually come over here and I'm going to delete this so we can start from scratch. And then I'm going to take my Steelers SVG file and I'm just going to bring it down here into Content Browser, left click and drag it from my Windows Explorer. Now you can see it is down here instead of my Content Browser. Now to get started, we want to make sure we're in motion design mode. So I'm going to come up here to selection mode, come down here to motion design, and that's going to bring up our side panel on the left-hand side. Now under actors, if I select this, you can see that we have SVG Actor. And if I double click on this, you can see now inside of my outliner, it's going to add it right here at the top. And then we have this logo down here as well. Now, if I click on it inside of my outliner and come down here into my details panel, right here, you should see SVG data. And if I left select this, you're going to see all your SVG files that you have in here. So for this example, let's click on the Steelers logo because it's a little bit more complex than the Unreal logo. Now you see I have my Steelers logo right here in the middle. And if we come over here to our details panel, just scroll down here a little bit. Like right now, render mode, we have it in 3D, but you can also do 2D if you just want to have it as this and not extrude it out. Then right here, we have scale, which I can bring this up a little bit larger. So let's do maybe like 2.5, something like that. And then extrude type, you can see right now it's on front face only, but if you want to see the back of it too, you could do down here where it says front and back mirrored. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it on front. And then fill extrude, this is what's actually going to extrude it out for us. So let's come down here, maybe click on 10, and you can see that it popped up here a little bit. So let me move this over a little bit. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to pop out of my camera so I can move around here in 3D space. And now you can see that we have an extruded logo right here. So if I come back over here and do back to 1, now you can see it flat. And if I come up here to 10, now you can see it extruded. But you might notice that we don't have everything extruded here, which it actually is, but it's on the same plane here. So if I come down here to where it says shape offset, and let's maybe move this up by 10. Now you can see that we have our logo exploded here. It's going to be offset, but again, this is going by the hierarchy that we set up there in Illustrator. So if I have this selected, now come over here and I just scroll this down, you can see I have all my splines here and they're actually in order. So if I select this one right here, you can see that we have the texture that correlates with it. Select this one, that's going to be that right there. So let's say right here where I have my yellow star, you can see it's down here, it's yellow. You can actually change the color in here if you want to do that. I'm going to hit cancel, or if you want to move these individually, you can also move it that way as well. So you want to make sure you're in the details panel right here under instance, and then you want to click on your spline right in here. But you can also see that the color is a little bit flat too. And that's because, let me come back up here inside of my outliner. I'm going to select my SVG actor. And if I scroll down here, right here under rendering, it's unlit. Now, if I click on it off, we're getting some nice sheen and everything on here. And then if we want to cast shadows, left select that. Now we have shadows on there as well. Let me actually take down my offset. Maybe let's move this down to like 2, something like that. And the one thing you want to make notice for, if I come down here to offset, sometimes it's going to mess up. Like if I left click and slide it, you can see that it's actually freezing up a lot. So for this, at least for the shapes offset, you want to type in the numerical value. If you actually keyframe this inside of your sequencer, you can actually scroll through it. But for whatever reason, right now, maybe it's because under preview, if you go through and you try to slide this, you might get a little hiccup and a little freeze. Now let's move this up a little bit just to go through a little bit more of these attributes. So smooth fill shape, that's going to make your geometry a little bit more smooth. So if I left select on this, it looks like it popped down here. So let me actually reset my offset somewhere around there. Now the bevel isn't going to be as good as you might see in Cinema 4D, but we still can do a little bit of bevel on here. So you want to be really small with these numbers. Start off with like 0.01. You're going to get a little bevel on there. Like if I go to 0.1, there we go. We're getting something a little bit nicer, and that's because I have the smooth on here. But if I bring it up to 1, now you can see it's getting really janky in there. So you want to start off with smaller numbers and just see where you could get. So let's go with maybe 0.1 just to give a little bevel on there. And again, where it says smooth fill shapes, you want to make sure you put that on there as well, and that's just going to help out your bevel. And just like you saw in my previous tutorials, everything in the attribute panel you could go through and you could lay keyframes. Let me show you how. So I'm going to come down here into my sequencer, left click, let's bring it up a little bit, and let's say we want the keyframe the offset. So I'm going to take the offset all the way down to 0, go to my timeline, make sure I'm at the beginning here, and right here where it says offset, click on these right here, create keyframe. You saw the keyframe down there. Let's scroll this all the way up like so. Let's do offset maybe 3, lay another keyframe down here. There we go. Now if I come through here and I click on play, so you can do that with any of the attributes down here. Everything is animatable right over here inside of your sequencer. And as we said before, we can actually go down into individual splines and animate those as well. So if I click on my actor here, let me scroll down here, and let's say we want to animate this one all by itself. So if you come down here inside of your transform, come down, let me actually move this down to beginning, right here under location, left click, create keyframe, scroll all the way up. And let's say we want this to come all the way up like that. Come over here, make another keyframe. Now, if we come down here and click play, that one is individually being animated as well. And if you want to even more control of your splines, we can actually split this apart as well. So over here, instead of my motion outliner with my actor selected, if I come down here under SVG, we have this button here that says split. Now watch this. If I click on split, now you can see that we have this little triangle here in which if I fold this down, we have all of our splines in here as well. So now we can actually see it inside of our outliner. And if I select them individually, you can actually move these out and do it that way as well. So this is another way that we can have more control over our splines in here. And one last thing, let's say that we wanted to change out maybe some materials in here. If I have it split out like that and come down here under materials, you can see we have materials that we can swap out down here. So if I come over here and let's just say I have this other material here that I created earlier, left click, drag that into here, and now you can see that we have a brand new material on there, and that's the easiest way that we could go through and swap those out. And it's as easy as that. So you can see how powerful it is being able to bring vector files into Unreal Engine and easily extrude them out. Of course, you're not going to have as many options as, you know, like Cinema 4D or other 3D programs, but I think this is a good start if you want to quickly get something in there, maybe have it with your sports package or whatever else you're trying to create. You can easily take your vector file, bring it in, and extrude it out. So hopefully this helped you out. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, stay fresh, keep creating, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you soon. Take care.